Okay. First of all, welcome, guys. My name's Mr. Hall. I've been asked to look after you guys in the interim between Mr. Miller finishing and Mr. Rima, who's taking over once we go back on site. So, for the meantime, you are going to be doing remote learning with me, and this video is really just to show you how it's set up, how you to access your work, work through it, produce it, all those sorts of things. So I've tried to keep it as simple as possible. Basically, at the start of the week on normally a Sunday, but for you guys it's Wednesday starting, I will send you an email explaining what's going on for the week, how many lessons you need to complete. So on a normal week it's 4, but because we've got a short week this week, it's only going to be 2. The other thing is that there is a Khan Academy class for you to sign up to. It's really important that you do that. In fact, it's part of one of the first lessons is signing up to that as well. So make sure you've done that and look for an email on Thursday night to complete the quiz. It's really important that you're signed up for that before I set that, or certainly before Thursday. So you must do that on Wednesday. So the key thing is in your OneNote, you should have your OneNote loaded up. If you can't, with the maths name here, if you haven't got that set up properly, there's the previous link to this on the initial email I sent out, which you can go to get your OneNote set up. So remember, we're trying to use it from the app, so you don't want to be using the online one. Again, that video explains how to go from the online version to the app version. So you will need to download the app onto your computer. Once you've got that, you should be able to click on our class. There might be a series of OneNotes there, but if you click on it, the class we're looking at, the 11 maths one, you should get the following structure. Now it'll look slightly differently because of the previous stuff that's there, but there should be a content library and also your name. So the key thing is I'm going to put all the resources for the lessons will be in the content library. So there'll be various tabs here of other subjects, but the one we're interested in here is charts and data, which is remote learning. So we're stopping the internals at the moment, and you are just doing an external. So so one of the externals that you do is charts and data. So if you click on that, what will happen is that you'll end up with a series of lessons that will pop up, and basically all the notes and things like that that we've been using, and also the PowerPoints that I'll be using as well, are there that you can go back to should you need to. But that's not where you work. You don't work in the content library. So if we close that back down, if you go to your name, likewise there should be another tab that's Charts and Data RL for remote learning. And if we click on that, there will be a series of lessons. So this week it's just lesson 1 and 2, and then that will extend on to other lessons. So the first thing that you'll notice when you get to a lesson page is it's got a number to keep it in order, and also I'll be referring to them as which lessons to complete and all those sorts of things. The other thing that it's got will be a table that will have some links or some resources that you click on and do. So to start off with, it's got a nice little skills test to get your brain working each day. So if we load that up, then we can start to put our numbers in. And the idea is you've got 2 minutes to do as many of these as you can. 29, terrible. Whatever, and you're trying to beat a new score every day. So once you've done about a few minutes of that, you can then crack on to the actual lesson. So each of you should have a Walker Charts and Data book, which was ordered at the start of the year. It might be that that's somewhere that you can't get to. So what I've done is I have scanned the the actual workbook here. So if you don't have the physical copy, which would be much easier because you can write on it and do all those sorts of things, you can always click on the PDF version to go through the questions. So you can see the first part of our task is asking us to read to page 7. So we can go through, read to page 7, and then you'll see there's a series of questions. The other thing that's there, so once we've read to page 7, we can go to the video. Most lessons, what I'm trying to do is give you a bit of instruction from a video, which is a bit like this video I'm making there, which you can see there's a picture of me a few weeks ago, and just discussing the PowerPoint, which you can get into the content library. So if I take the sound off, maybe you can hear the sound of that already. These are just to take you through the content in a sort of teaching way. And then once you've done that, you can go back to your OneNote, and then you'll see that there's a task on page 7 and 8 to complete. So there's 7 and 8, and that's basically what your lesson is. Again, checking your answers, which you need to do, and then once you've completed the task, the next thing is to get a photo of your work back onto your OneNote. I'll put in a link here as well showing you how to do that using your phone, which you may find easier to do it that way. If not, you can email it to yourself and all those sorts of things. But basically, that's a lesson. You can then go on to lesson 2, and you can complete that as well. The other thing that I do on a weekly basis is a Khan Academy quiz, a really short quiz. It's all done online. It should be a summary of what you've done that week, so it should be just testing how much you actually know, or how much you picked up, or me to identify boys that maybe need a little bit more help, those sorts of things. That gets emailed to you. You click the link, complete the question, it automatically marks it for me, and I take a look at it. So for this week, what you need to do is the 2 lessons that I set, and also the Khan Academy quiz. Because we've been having problems with OneNote getting information out there, for this week I will email basically a copy of this so that you can access the information through your emails, but you still need to make sure that you're putting your answers on your OneNote. The only other thing that I'll show you as well is that on Teams, you can see if we go to our class, which is 11 Mathematics Main 65, if you open that up, there's a post here. I can see that a lot of you have been using it already. What I've been using this with my other classes is a place where we can look at questions and answers. So if you've got a question that you're not sure about, email me, and usually what I have been doing is some videos explaining the answer, and then I've been posting it on here so it's accessible to everybody. So before you ask a question or you email me, be a good idea to take a look at the posts on here, and it might be that boys have been having problems with the same question and the question's already been answered. And likewise, if you want to post a question on there, please do so as well, and I will get to it at some point. I know that's a bit of information overload. It's going to be a little bit of a mess, but if in doubt, just flick me an email. The key thing is to make sure you read the instructions. Read all the instructions and exactly what I want you to do. Otherwise, good luck and have a good week.